Hey, buddy, what's up? It's Josh. Jones? How many Joshes do you know besides your favorite singer, Josh Groban? What are you doing? Seriously? Unbelievable. Hey, I got some good news. We're invited to a roast tonight. Should be pretty fun. No pulled pork, my friend. It's not that kind of roast. It's a comedy thing, not a barbecue. Yeah, some of your boys are coming. Tony, Elliot, Ron. Yeah, Stuart. Unless his ankle bracelet sets off the security alarm. I know. Huh? I remember that time in Bristol. And that time in Indy, but listen. Kevin, Kevin, remember, that was then and this is now. So what do you say? Budweiser sponsoring the roast. They're your new sponsor. It's going to be great. Lots of laughs and a lot of funny comedians. No, you cannot fight the comedians either. Look, what else do you have to do tonight? Sit around and watch reruns of the 2007 Daytona 500 over and over and over again? Come on, what do you say? We'll have fun. Hey, and if you're good, I'll even let you slam the parking attendant on the hood of your car on the way out. Nice. Hey, the best part of the whole deal? I already spoke to Delaney, and guess what? She said you could go. She really did. I thought you'd be happy to hear that. Awesome. Well, I'm excited. I'll pick you up. I'll pick you up in probably about an hour or so. Is that cool? Say what? Who's the roast for? I don't know, but I'm sure Budweiser found some poor douchebag to sit up on stage and get hammered all night with stories.
From the Hilton Daytona Beach Oceanfront Resort, it's the Budweiser roast of Kevin Harvick. With guests Mike Dillon, Earthquake, Delana Harvick, Ron Hornaday, John Reep, Elliott Sadler, and Tony Stewart. Now, please welcome our roast master, Jeremy Potts.
And welcome. My name's Jeremy Hotz. I'll be your host for this evening. Quit staring at my nose. Yes, I was born with an elbow stuck to my face. But enough about me. Tonight, we're here to honor Kevin Harvick. And I mean by honor, rip him a new one. Let's give a nice hand to the hardest working girls in show business. They say they're with Budweiser, but it looks more like the Bush series to me. Oh, it's gonna get way worse than that, folks. What is NASCAR anyway? Just a group of guys who miss playing with their Hot Wheels? I read a bit about Kevin to do this, and I kind of have some respect for him because he has 3 dogs and 2 cats. I'll let him go on the cat thing because I figure those are probably left over from a previous relationship. Because men don't like cats. We're dog people. Dogs are the most loyal beasts in the world. Ah, there you go. When you go out, the dog will lie by the door until you come home. Even your wife doesn't do that. And if she does, get the hell out of that relationship. But a cat, you ever call a cat? Oh, yeah, they're right on it. They just give you this look right here. And they get up, walk away, lift their tail, and show you their ass. How rude is that? I feed you, you miserable animal. Don't flip me off with your gee. So I have a dog, not a purebred, just a bargain basement garbage dog. I didn't get him from a breeder. I rescued my dog. I got him out of someone's backyard. I love my dog. He's a Border Collie Dotson mix. He's really smart because he's part Border Collie, and he's really long because he's part wiener dog. But he's smart, so he knows how stupid he looks. UPS is one of Kevin's sponsors now, but his car doesn't say UPS yet because, unfortunately, all the stickers were shipped by UPS. Everyone sponsors cars now. Viagra used to sponsor Mark Martin. I read that. Let me guess, when you waxed it, it turned into a stretched limo. So let's start things off by finding out who's on our stage tonight and who we have here sitting in our roll of honor. Our first roast master is a man who makes Ozzy Osbourne sound, well, literate. 9-time NASCAR National Series winner, Elliott Sadler. Well, nobody wanted this next guy to be on the panel tonight, but roasts date back to the 1920s, and hell, we needed an old guy. Please welcome our token old guy, Ron Hornaday. Some comedians are hugely funny. This next guy's just huge. Last seen outside the Budweiser tent trying to deep fry one of the Clydesdales. Please welcome Earthquake. Tonight's roast is about one man, a man who is not only at the forefront of NASCAR, he is the face of the sport itself, Delana Harvick. I was really excited about meeting our next guest because I'm a huge fan of Matt Dillon. But then I realized it's only Mike Dillon. Amazing how 3 letters can totally ruin your day. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Dillon. You know, Hickory, North Carolina is known for 2 famous people, Dale Jarrett and Denzel Washington's wife. We couldn't get either of them, so we settled for this guy. Please welcome comedian John Reep. And lastly, this next guy is not only a 2-time Sprint Cup Series champion, but one of the sport's biggest personalities. And by big, I mean he needs a shoehorn to fit his ass into his car. Tony Stewart! Anyway, it's about time we bring out the tough guy of NASCAR. But before we do, we should check with his wife to see if it's okay. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest of honor, Kevin Harvick! Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Sadly, he's not.
Coming up next, 9-time NASCAR National Series winner, Elliott Sadler.
Welcome back to the Budweiser Roast of Kevin Harvick. Our first guest is a 9-time NASCAR National Series winner, which is amazing because he crashes more often than Charlie Sheen. Please welcome Elliott Sadler.
Thanks, Barry. I really didn't want to go first tonight. I kind of wanted to follow Mike Dillon. Then I started thinking, who in the world in NASCAR has ever followed Mike Dillon? This is a pretty first-class event here tonight. You know, we pulled up and we all had valet parking, and I thought, man, that was pretty cool, and we definitely enjoyed it, but I thought that it would be kind of weird for Kevin to have somebody else park his car, you know, other than NASCAR. The funny thing is, you know, I don't think Kevin's first dream was NASCAR. I think it was hockey, but just not enough fights in. Kevin, we told you this was going to be a roast, but actually it's not. This is more like an intervention, man. You got to get some serious anger management help. And actually today is my son's first birthday. And thank you. I was actually going to bring him, but I was scared Kevin would take a swing at him. So I didn't bring him. You know, you have to be a good sport to be up here tonight, to take all this from all these guys up here. And I definitely want to thank Delana for letting you stay past your curfew tonight and come up here and hang out with us guys. You know, I told her, I said, look, I got 3 minutes to rip your husband on TV. And she said, well,
wait a second.
You might have to calibrate your scale a little bit, Elliot. 3 minutes to Kevin is 1001, 1002, 1003. You know, most of you know the last few years, you know, I hadn't had this success I really would have liked to have on the track. And a few months ago when Kevin called me to drive for him, man, I was stoked. I was so excited. And I walked into the shop for the first time and realized he's not the owner. He doesn't call me to drive for him. That he doesn't wear the pants at all in the family or the fire suit. We know who does that. I think he wears the thong. You know, I actually flew down here tonight with Joey Logano. Isn't that funny? And, in all seriousness, I hope you and Joey have put all your troubles aside, because there's nothing worse than attacking a manor or being put in your place by one. Okay. Good night, guys. Stay safe.
Well, that was funny, wasn't it? Yeah? No one was expecting a man in a crummy brown corduroy jacket. Circa 1974. To get any laughs, but hey, we all like a sight gag.
That's just wrong.
We'll be right back after this television commercial.
Stay tuned for one of the funniest men on the planet.
Diesel.com.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, give it up for your Budweiser girls. Doing a great job, ladies. I've already attained pole position. Well, somebody had to say it. We were originally going to get Jeff Foxworthy to be here tonight, but our next guest ate him. All kidding aside, I've known this guy for, well, years, ever since he was just a tremor. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to my good friend, Earthquake!
What's happening? How y'all doing? Yeah. I have to say, as a brother, it's good to be here with y'all. This ain't a popular place for the brothers. Yeah, I told my mother I was coming to NASCAR. She's like, you be careful. You know, I'm having a good time here at NASCAR. You know, y'all in that diversity program right now. And I said, well, okay, y'all need to have some black people in NASCAR. We will bring a lot to you in NASCAR. Black people love NASCAR. We've been taking tires off before y'all ever took tires off. Now, some people told me, say, there's some black people in NASCAR. Like who? Brad Daugherty. Brad Daugherty ain't black. And even if he was black, the only way you could tell he black if you got an HD TV. The bottom of my hand is darker than Brad Daugherty. Now I'm telling you right now, we need to get together because y'all will give my boy, Reverend Al Sharpton, and Reverend Jesse Jackson something to do. Because you know the first 5 years of us getting together, it's going to be a slip-up. One of them good old boys going to like, I didn't call him boy. I said he my boy and boy. I didn't say he boy. Now, you know, NASCAR, y'all have the legend of my boy, Ricky Bobby. Black people is going to bring you the legend of my boy, Bobby Brown. Now, don't laugh at Bobby Brown. We all got family members like Bobby Brown. My boy, Jeremy Heights, that's my man. We are friends, and I admire him. Because, you know, my boy right now, if you don't know too much about him, he's from Cape Town, South Africa. He was born May 31st, 1963, 2 days before I was. And, you know, he went to Canada, was raised. Then now he's in Hollywood living out his dream. Now, had I been born in Cape Town, South Africa, my black ass will be still in Cape Town, South Africa. I'm going to tell you something. I have been studying this NASCAR all week, and I swear to God, I still have no idea who in the hell Mike Dillon and Elliott is. I keep Googling them, and all they keep coming up and saying is possible Klan members. Now, I do have a friend on the panel. That's my boy, Tony Stewart. Yeah, I'll give it up for Tony. That is my man. But me and Tony been friends long time ago. I met Tony a long time ago because we had the same probation officer. But I love you, Tony. You're my man. I heard you got in a little trouble down in Australia. You got locked up, you know. Did a little jail time down there. And you know them Australian jails are hardcore. So I'm pretty sure you did a little time down there. So, you know, that time down under, you end up doing some time down under. I'm just joking, Tony. You're my man. You know I ain't mean that. Okay. The man of the hour. First met you. You got a beautiful wife. She's beautiful. I wanted to get me a white woman, but, you know, Tiger Woods done messed it up for all black men. He done said interracial dating back 100 years. You know, roasting you, man, I don't even really, to be honest with you, because I just got into, you know, NASCAR, and I was like, the hell we roasting Kevin for? He ain't Jimmy Johnson. Where's Jimmy at? Jimmy wasn't available? Oh, that's right, he busy. Winning races, huh? See, you got all that time, you got a little extra time. Well, Kevin, man, thank you for having me here. For all the brothers, we will be in NASCAR, and we'll be rooting for you. God bless you.
Coming up next, Elena Harvick gets her turn with Kevin.
Welcome back to the show. By the way, during that commercial break, 2 of the Budweiser girls put themselves through pole dancing school. I just read them, ladies. You know, Kevin and Delane have been married for over 10 years. Yeah, that's an achievement. Give them a hand. And I know how that is, because I was married for well over a year. That's right. I gave it the old community college try. It's hard to find the right person, isn't it? I mean, men and women, gee, we don't even look alike. Oh, you think that's funny? Other animals look exactly the same. Dogs, cats, you can't tell them apart. If you're standing nude next to your wife and she looks like you, you've made an horrendous decision. Ironically, in their fire suits, these 2 look exactly the same. Please welcome a woman who looks a lot better out of her fire suit, Delana Harvick.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I think there's always been a lot of misconception about, who Kevin and I really are, and the fact that I wear the fire suit in the family, and it's a big joke, but I really do wear the fire suit in the family. Right? Yeah. So, and there might be a few other things that you didn't know about Kevin and I, even though we've, been married 10 years. You might not know this either, but you might be surprised to know that when Kevin asked me to marry him, he cried. And I thought, oh, that's sweet, and that was so touching. Then he cried at our wedding, and I thought, okay, I'm going to give him that one. That's, kind of what you're supposed to do at a wedding. Mm-hmm. And then he cried after Jersey Shore last week, and Ronnie and Sammy got in a fight. He cried. Oh, I thought, that's odd, right? That's the way I remember it. I'm not sure how you remember it. Okay. So, anyway, we're coming up on our 10th wedding anniversary, and there's a lot of good memories. But the one thing that really stands out to me is after our wedding, they said, you can kiss the bride, and he kissed me. Then he leaped over the flowers and he sucker punched the best man. And I guess that set the stage for a lot of what he thinks he should do, I guess, at the racetrack. Yep. But one of my favorite memories when we got married is when I carried Kevin over the threshold. I thought that was... Remember that? And I thought I'd go ahead and address the fact that a lot of people think that a lot of NASCAR spouses are just gold diggers, money-grubbing leeches, but I guess if the truth be told, I just went ahead and married Kevin anyway. Because a lot of people don't know that when we first got together, we were living off my salary because Kevin had to buy himself out of his truck contract to come drive for Richard. And finally, I just said, it's too much work. I'm going to have to teach him how to drive. I can't do everything. So... I taught him how to drive. And then, as it turns out, I had to teach him how to fight, too. And I'll admit, there are times when Kevin's temper really gets the best of him, and I think it's... Actually, we were dating at the time. He missed the race at Rockingham, and he left me at the racetrack. He took my purse, he took my cell phone, he took everything. And I thought, how am I going to get back to the hotel? And I saw Jimmy Johnson in the corner. I said, hey, do you mind giving me a ride? And don't you know, we beat Kevin back to the hotel. In fact, I think we may have lapped Kevin, really. But I love you.
Thanks.
Okay.
I can tell.
You can tell.
That was rough.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Wow.
Say, 10 years, huh?
Oh, yeah.
In a row? No, seriously, nice job, Delana. Our next guest used to be a driver as well, but he stunk.
That's you, bud.
Yeah. I don't really need to go on, but I'm going to anyway, because you already know who he is. This guy once crashed coming out of the pits. No. Let's put this into perspective, folks. I've never been in a race car. I think I could do that. Please welcome Wrong Way Dylan.
Wow. You know, I was coming up here, we're supposed to read his teleprompter and all this other stuff, but I've got so much good stuff, Kevin. After, you know, I know you're going to nail me later. So,
rephrase that.
Oh, yeah, I'll rephrase that. So, but Jeremy, I really appreciate, Jeremy, I really appreciate your introduction and everything, and the members only jacket. That's really cool. If we were stealing that deal, you know, that's really cool. So anyway, going back to what she said about you taking her purse and Jimmy taking you home that night, he disappeared, and we didn't know where he was. And it was like he didn't say bye, and that's a true story. 2 days later, we couldn't find him either. So the next thing you know, he's on a milk carton. There he is. There he is over there on the milk carton. Finally, our guys went out and found him and brought him back, unfortunately for us, or I guess lucky for us, because we won a couple races since then and everything else. We really appreciate that. And, you know, he abandoned his teammates like that, just like, damn, his hair's doing right now. It's receding. You know, it's like, it's hard. He's abandoned, you know, it's running away. You know, just like you did that day at Rockingham. Doing good. It's looking good. You know, you know, I can't say a whole lot because I got a 4 head, and my head's receding right now. But unfortunately, Kevin's got a 5 head. You know, we can't do a whole lot about that. Kevin, I really appreciate you being with us, and I'm gonna get off the stage right now. Thanks.
All right, settle down. Let me get this straight. You own the company?
No, my father-in-law does.
And lay off the members-only jacket crap. You dress like a bus driver. Well, we all knew that was going to go the way that it went. I'm surprised he found his way back to the seat without taking out a couple of tires. We'll be back after this.
Next on the Harvick Roast, comedian John Reep and 2-time Sprint Cup Series champion Tony Stewart.
You may not recognize our next guest because he won Last Comic Standing, which is a lot like being the best fisherman in, well, the desert. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend John Reep.
Thank you, Jeremy. What's up? Hello. Get that out of the way. Thank you, Jeremy Hotz. Who are your parents, Kathy Bates and Snuffleupagus? Jesus. I mean, come on, I've seen smaller noses on 747s. Look at that damn thing. Jeremy, what does it smell like in Seattle right now? And look, we got Earthquake here. Look at that. Great name, huh? Earthquake. I guess Mudslide was taken already. Oh, yeah. He likes it. Oh. I talked to one of your old girlfriends. She said the name Earthquake also applies to how you make love. It doesn't happen very often. It lasts 5 seconds, and when it's all over, she's devastated. All right, but let's get to Mr. Harvick here, the man of the hour. Mr. Kevin Harvick, everybody, come on now. Obviously, I don't know you very well, Kevin, but I do find it interesting that people keep referring to you as the kid, you know? Calling you the kid at this point is silly. It's just like calling Justin Bieber Paw Paw. You're 35 years old, dude. 35 is not a kid. Well, actually, compared to Hornaday, it's kind of a kid, I guess. And his nickname is Happy. Isn't that great? Well, if you're going to be nicknamed after one of the 7 Jorts, that's the one to have right there. Happy. Right. Hey, too bad there's not a dwarf named Punchy. And Kevin's wife, Delana, is here. Lovely, lovely Delana. She's on Twitter every day dropping sponsors' names like Kate Goslin drops kids, people. I'm joking. I like Delana's tweets. She's got some nice tweets. I'm just saying, sweet tweets. Speaking of nice tweets, I also follow the Budweiser girls right here, although I'm pretty sure their tweets are all fake. So. I love you too. And I agree, I am number 1. Kevin, let's not forget your awesome pit crew. What can I say about the Happy Jackers? They are dedicated to jacking you, Hapster. Most grown men that hide behind a wall waiting for a car to pull up so they can jack it and get all arrested. But not the Happy Jackers. I hope I haven't hurt your feelings tonight, Kevin. After all, it's all in good fun. But if I did, I'll just take a page from your book and ask for forgiveness later. So, thanks, buddy. Thank you. Awesome, man. Good job.
People have joked about our next presenter for being a fat, hairy womanizer. Apparently that's what turns ladies on these days. Please welcome Tony Stewart!
Are you shaking?
Not yet.
You should be. Because I'm the one on stage that will whip your ass. So. Only when need be. I know Kevin and Delana don't have any kids yet, and mostly because Kevin doesn't have the time to take 9 months off of his schedule. There's no doubt in my mind that he's capable of it, of getting pregnant, that is. And to be truthfully honest, Delana's definitely the man for the job, so. And some have said Kevin fights like a girl. I really don't think it's honestly fair to him, because even girls win a fight once in a while. So. But honestly, I have to say that I'm glad I went after Dylan, because, Mike, every time I listen to you, you just make me feel so much better about myself. I can't help it, dude. That even made me uncomfortable sitting on stage.
I know what you mean.
I say that, and the thing is, you look in the Cup Garage and you realize that Mike Dillon is actually the smartest guy in the Cup Garage, because he realized real early he couldn't drive a hot nail in a snowbank, so he just married an owner. The owner's daughter. But really looking forward to Kevin's speech later, even though I don't think it's really going to hold a lot of weight to it. But I have to tell one more really good story. And, you know, we've been friends for a long time, and I've driven for you for a long, well, actually I've driven for your wife for a long time. But, you know, a lot of times in the motorhome lot, we're parked next to each other, and wake up one morning and get on my uniform and get ready for practice and realize that I've come outside and it's 2 hours fast on my clock. And so I think Kevin has come in the night before and got in my clock, set it 2 hours fast. So this bus driver says that they're awake and inside, and Kevin's getting ready. So I run inside real quick, thinking that I was actually looking more forward to jumping in bed with Delana than I was seeing Kevin. Yet did I realize how bad of an idea it really was when I got there, because Kevin's in the shower, and instead of worrying about me jumping in bed with his wife, he's worried about taking his finger and covering himself up. Dylan, I'll draw that out for you so you understand it later. But I feel bad for you, dude. It was like hanging out with Dylan. It makes you feel better about yourself. So. But don't worry, it's all good. When this is over tonight, we're parked together in the same bus lot right next to each other like normal, and I'll come over, and Delana and I'll show you what more than 3 minutes really is all about tonight. I appreciate everything that you've done for me. You've always given me great race cars to drive, and you're a great friend, and you've helped me be a lot better businessman. So because of that, I'm going to let you off the hook easy now.
Having a legend, Tony Stewart, ladies and gentlemen. How you hanging in, Kev?
I'm ready.
You're looking good on your throne. All right, when we come back, we're going to hear from this evening's guest of honor, Kevin Harvick. Unless we mysteriously run out of time. We'll be back after this.
EWDiesel.com.
Welcome back, folks. In 2006, our guest of honor was able to take the lead in point standings for the first time in his career. Wow. That only took 26 years. He's a race car driver. You think he would have been able to get there a tad quicker. Please welcome the excellent sport and hopefully nice guy that knows how to take a joke, Kevin Harvick!
Wow. I didn't know I was going to take that much abuse by my wife. The rest of you did okay, I guess. I've definitely sat through a lot of those Mike Dillon meetings where you walk out and you go, wonder what just really happened. What am I supposed to do now?
No, I didn't have it.
Hey.
You know, we gotta be careful with that.
First, I'd like to thank my new sponsor, Budweiser. We're working... Budweiser for working so hard to put a positive spin on my image. What are you guys going to do next? Have me kick puppies? Burn down an orphanage? I don't know. Where do we go from here? And give it up for our host, Jeremy Hotz. Thanks for hosting this roast, and you really were adequate, I gotta say. When they told me you were going to host this thing, I said, who the hell is Jeremy Hotz? And now I know, and I say, why the hell Jeremy Hotz? Of course, I'd like to thank my future ex-manager, Josh Jones. Josh is a real miracle worker. In addition to my career, he also manages Lindsay Lohan, Courtney Love, and Bernie Madoff. Tony Stewart. Yep. Don't hold her too tight or Spanx might fall off. Tony Stewart, thanks for being here. I know you're in Australia when the producers called you to do this, and you called them right back. Pretty amazing. You're only allowed one call. Tony and I are good friends. In fact, he once stayed with me and my wife in our home. House guest from hell. He likes to be naked. I walked in on him naked once. I'd never seen that much hair in my life. From his neck to his toes, I thought he was wearing a mink fire suit. Dude, your nipples are like buttons on a fur coat. Who's your mom, Sasquatch?
I don't know, but she'll be calling you after the show.
It's also no secret that Tony loves the ladies. Sarah Lee, Wendy's, Mrs. Paul, Little Debbie. These days, he can only meet women on Craigslist. Jenny Craigslist. When people hear the name Elliott Sadler, they don't think of a NASCAR driver. They think of an accountant in Boca Raton. One of the reasons I like Elliott is he's an animal lover. He's a big dog person. In fact, he's just adopted Tony Stewart. He's going to have him spayed and neutered right after the show. So be careful, Elliott. Don't let him up on the furniture he sheds. Earthquake. Oh, man. What can I say, bud? I look at you and I think, wow. Look, it's Precious with balls. I enjoyed seeing John Reap on the last comic standing. And Earthquake, I loved your episode on cops, man. I know in my heart that all that nasty stuff was said about me was said out of love, except for Mike Dillon's stuff. I'm pretty sure he hates my guts. He couldn't even get it out of his mouth. It's an interesting mix of people here tonight. There are people here who I work for, and people here who work for me. There are people here who work for NASCAR, and people here who work for Budweiser. But ultimately, all of us, each and every man in this room, works for a much higher authority, Delana.
Kevin Harvick, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful audience. Before we go, let's just cover a few things in, well, summation. What have we learned tonight? First, I was born in Africa. In 3 months, I'm going for my American citizenship, at which point I will officially be an African American. You're going to be my brother, Quake. Secondly, 3 young ladies from a small town in Florida taught us that on Saturday night they can flip off John Reap in a row. And finally, Kevin taught us that the next time we roast someone, we really should go with Jimmy Johnson. Good night. You've been fat.